there's that beautiful cake plate with that, the bling ribbon and pins and things like that. That's called D. Stevens. That's the manufacturer. D. Stevens does some very ornate, I think, fair price points. They're not cheap, they're not overly expensive, but in the middle, a nice upsell, right? Well, this wrap that's on the base of that bouquet is a D. Stevens product. And we have 4 or 5 styles of that wrap. And it comes with this little bit of bling. You just take your stems, your loose stems of the flowers when you get done with the bouquet. You wrap it, and then you tie it off. It comes with a little tie, and you're all set to go. You know, really, Kim added the price to this for me. I think she marked it up a lot. But she added a lot of those diamonds, and she used that one of those rose bouquets that we have over there. I think the rose bouquet itself is like $8. So right when you start with $8, you can make this whatever price you want. And then we upsell with the D. Stevens, we upsell with the bling, and then you're finished. Beautiful little piece, but nice. Brides today don't always need to see huge and big. You know, it's not like when Princess Di got married, remember that bouquet that reached to the floor and stuff, you know, that was beautiful. A lot of today's brides don't want that, right? A lot of times they want something small, but we shouldn't let them get away with something cheap, because that's our money, right? So what we have to do is we have to upsell it by adding these cute little accents and things like that. So, thank you. And even with that burlap, I'm telling you, you can buy burlap anything. You can buy a burlap garbage can and you can sell it. And whatever is burlap, they're buying. Burlap is hot, hot, hot. We even have ceramic vases that look like burlap. And those are some, I mean, everything burlap sells. So there's a burlap. And don't be afraid. You know, sometimes we see burlap and we think, okay, now it has to be grassy or wire or real rough and country. No, let's take a little bit of lace, a little bit of satin, and a little bit of bling and add it to the burlap and upsell it. On this one, they've taken a very rough burlap kind of a look, and they've added some writing to it, right? Some calligraphy with a little bit of the bling, and then the lace. Right? So we can upsell, you know, our burlap as well, give it really different look. Did I talk about this one? I didn't even talk about this one yet. You know, if I'm gone a few days, these designers, all they do is design. Probably 100 things I probably should hurry up with. We've had a little bit of spring on, a few mini gerbs, pink mini gerbs. You know, mini gerbs are great. They last a long time. They're inexpensive. They give you a good look. You know, so when you're looking at this arrangement, yeah, a lot of people love peonies. Hey, I love peonies too. You know what I really love about peonies? At $5 a stem, it's really easy to increase sales year over year because they're very expensive. It's like succulents. They're beautiful, but I can't help it. Sometimes in the year, right now especially, whenever we're getting them from Holland, they're more money. You know, soon they'll be available in Arkansas. You know, and you know where you can grow peonies now in Alaska? Brett Kennecott's got farms as far south as Costa Rica, as far north as Alaska. His idea is to have a field of peonies growing 12 months a year. So he's spread out his buys, he's bought land in different areas of the world to bring peonies to us 12 months a year. Isn't that great? But we see a need and we try to fill it. Just and then a beautiful free spirit rose there. That's called free spirit. Honestly, it's one of the most popular garden roses you're going to see. When you show a bride that free spirit, goes from that hot pink to the orange, and lets you and helps you bring in the different color schemes. You want to use the bright tropicals, you can use the bright green, you can use chartreuse, rather. You can use hot pink, cerise, you can use some purples, and then you can bring the orange, and then the free spirit kind of brings all those colors together. Sorry, Karen, you were saying?
I was going to say, that rose is the leaf of the matter. It's over a week old, and it's too beautiful to not use. They open gorgeous. So I would suggest get your roses in early. I think that's the prettiest part of the roses, just before it expires.
And, you know, and you should keep that in mind. You know, the roses are going to take 3 or 4 days. If you have a Friday, Saturday wedding, you should be getting almost a mercury glass kind of look. I've seen the mason jars at the gift shows, I've seen them at the barns, and I thought to myself, who in the world is going to do a wedding with a mason jar? Who would want to buy mason jars for their wedding? Well, we saw cases and cases. And again, you know, Tim and I, we don't always like what we buy, but we buy what sells, I think. And, you know, it didn't take long. We said, okay, we'll try it. Right, Tim? We said, you know, because we both looked at it and thought, hey, I don't care what Pinterest or Facebook says, but we're going to try it. And we did it. Sure enough, boy, it is hot. And these are from Accent Decor as well. It's a beautiful piece. You can't see it here too well, but there is a hanger. So if you want to hang this on a fence or hang it from a tree or from chandeliers, you can do that. It's very different. Or if you just want to kind of keep it simple with like one hydrangea. Kim's got one hydrangea, one rose, one tulip, one mini-cal. Very elegant though, isn't it? Put 3 or 4 of those on a table. Each guest gets to take one home. Something different. And she's added a little bit of that Smithers Oasis, that the pearlized wire, just to give it a little bit of an uplook to the flowers themselves. You want to hold it?
No, I'm guessing.
No. If you're getting too literally.
I'm thinking, yeah.
But you know, getting back to those, you know, the mason jars are very hot. Syndicate Sales is now giving them to us in straight colors. We have pink, green, lavender, all of them. So you can provide whatever you want for your customer. Accent Decor has a line of milk glass mason jars with a hot nail finish to it. Very cool, very different. Milk glass is hot, real hot. If anything, we have the little, I call them the jello cups, right? Little finger cups in the milk glass. Really popular to add for wedding tables. Something to show the customers. I'm not going to get this on the Right, I mean, Kim's taking 2 of the glass vases, added Oasis. And what did you use to cover your mechanics? Kim, you set it on some...
Actually, I cut out some mylar first. That's my foam in the mylar. And then I used the Accent Decor jobs in the clear top. Outside to cover up my first.
So that's what's covering the base. That's why when you look at this from the bottom, I'll pick it up one more time so you can see. You don't see the green Oasis. You see kind of a frosting. Notice. Okay? So she's done those 2 things to make that happen. Then, you know, the stacking of the containers, so we do the one arrangement, put the next one on top, and then this one, we'll set just on top of that. And as Kim said, if you really didn't have a budget to finish this with flowers up here, you could just throw it halfway with water and add a floating candle on top. You don't have to do it. Days on these nice pieces coming up. This is a tropical theme that you'll see in our IFD trends brochure that's on your table. The flat wire from Smithers Oasis, isn't that interesting? You can really play with that stuff. Just add a little bit to any arrangement. The combination of textures between the ceramic or glass, metal, and the banding, the tropical flowers, really popular right now. The look, you know, one of the things that Jay talked about last week with the trend synthesis, we're getting a little bit more away from the block or the monofloral with just 2 other roses or 10 white hydrangeas. We're getting a little bit more back to stylized pieces. So in order to do that and do it in a very cost-effective case, I think it's important that we add some of these other elements to our designs, right? And don't be afraid, it's actually very inexpensive to use the wire. No matter what, you know, just play with it for a while. I love this piece here. The bold colors are really important. It's very hard for a lot of us. We like pink people or lavender people, or we like things all white. But the bold mixing of colors, one of the new things is, it's not new, right? It's coming back at the peacock look. You're getting more and more blinds. Blue dendrobium orchids are quickly going up the charts in one of our most asked for colors for weddings. Blue dendrobium orchids, can you believe it? And they're mixing it with the chartreuse Fuji bulbs. And I'm like, okay. And I'm Hispanic, we like to go on the wild side with color, but that's pretty wild even for me. And but you know, it's different, it's unique. And the young people today, we have to look at the trends and the colors that they like. Okay, it's not what we like, it's what they like. I was talking to somebody the other day, the tinted pom-poms that we had at the show last week, people look at them and they like them and it's okay. And I tell them, I said, you know what, you go to the mass markets, they sell cases of tinted product every week. Cases. Because the young people, they just love them. They think they're fun. Because they're made up flowers, right? It's creative. So when you're looking at doing weddings and things like that, this deep, rich purple or almost a fuchsia purple with that beautiful sky blue, aqua blue, just different. We'll add some purple gems at the bottom. Very simple, right? 4 stems of orchids. That's it. We have a great source, by the way, for Phalaenopsis sprays. We're getting them in, they're boxed in 12. I can even ship them to you out of state if you're doing a wedding in Columbus or doing a wedding in Atlanta, Georgia. The beautiful white and lavender sprays, they run about $18 to $20 a spray. Very cost effective. They hold up really well. You get them farm direct again. Here's something very natural. It's making these natural lavender Phalaenopsis plants, putting them in that recycled tray. But then we add a little bit of the blue gems, those wonderful delphinium blue gems to the base of it. Just some